Sky Squad, we are back in the building, and I got a question for you. Are the new girls on Atlanta ready to quit already? Take a listen to this. All right, so I had to cut it short because the language gets a little, too specific because Brit Eady and Kelly, the two new girls who are, and we'll get into who they are in just one second for those of you guys who are new and who are watching this visually, but they were hanging out at the pool, it seems like this weekend, and they were, you know, most likely joking, right? Most likely joking about the level of drama. There were some middle fingers in the air. And the question is, if you were a new person on this show at this point in time, would you be wanting to do it as well? Let us know down in the comment section down below. As of right now, it seems like we're really only maybe 3 to 4 weeks into filming, and the girls are ready to quit already. Okay. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but we do have some more spoilers ahead. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I mean, you could turn back now. But if not, then just keep watching, right? All right. So let's talk about, we got a couple of things to talk about today. I have to do this hit it and quit it style because I have an interview coming up shortly that I need to prepare for, as well as adulting to do today. Okay. So with that being said, let's dive in. Okay. And we can take things over to our friends at the Neighborhood Talk, where we get a glimpse of Brit Eady. She is hanging out. And the question is she throwing a little bit of shade right here?
I do. I wanted to get a photo with my husband. You know, sorority around here. What's wrong, Bobby?
So she's kind of showing that she's really unbothered by the mess, or is she? Because during her hangout,
And really,
with Kelly, who is Kelly if you follow her on Instagram, she says best they
look
say.
who showed up. Bestie in real life. In real life.
Now, was this a response to Kenya's post about this dynamic duo with her and Portia as the two peaches? Which dynamic duo are you here for? Okay, which dynamic duo are you here for in this new era of housewives? That's the question. Really, that's the question. Because we can go on talking about who do we believe, but at the end of the day, there was this audio that leaked yesterday with Kenya Moore, allegedly going off on Brit Eady, calling Brittany an escort that charges $1,400, and Kenya alleged that Yo Gotti was like, yo, Snapchat me that cooter, and you did. Okay. So if you did not hear yesterday's video, then go and check that out. You can hear the audio within that video. All right. So there is that. Are the new girls ready to quit already? I mean, should they? I'm sure they can at this point because the contract, it sounds like it's signed, sealed, delivered. And the network has already made the announcements. But there's still an opportunity there to see who will actually make the cut at the end of the road. All right, so let's move things over into some lighter and brighter news, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, it looks as though Giselle and Wendy have finally been able to bury the hatchet, okay? Now, what looks like the birthday party for Dr. Wendy Asefo, you can see Giselle here pictured with Wendy and Karen. Now, here's what we know, right? Here is what we know. Wendy has been celebrating her birthday. We know the cast is filming. We've also been able to look at the landscape of what's going on in the world of housewives as it stands right now. And we look at Real Housewives of New Jersey as a great example of what happens when a cast refuses to move forward. And what we're seeing right now play out in Jersey is a fractured cast. The show is almost becoming unwatchable by viewers because there's nothing new there, right? And they've gotten their reunion taken away from them, which could potentially mean that those extra checks that come along with those reunion episodes. Now, it would appear as though the ladies of Potomac have perhaps heard the rallying cry from the fans and decided to do a little switcheroo on us, okay? Because not only do we have them pictured together, but we also have them wrapped in a bit of a warm embrace. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look here. And again, courtesy of our friends over at the Bravo Shade Room, we can see that Dr. Wendy goes to embrace Giselle upon entering. And there we have it. At least some semblance of camaraderie amongst the ladies. Here we have the cast pictured dancing. And this is more along the lines of what I feel like we want to see. We want to see good times. We want to see the ladies able to get together and party and have a good time. We want to see some light shade being thrown, but we also want to see, I feel like we're at a space in time where we kind of want to see drama, but we also want to see fun times. You know what I'm saying? Something that feels good. Hopefully, y'all won't be saying it's boring, when it comes back on, now that the two ladies seem like they're in a much better place. I just know that regardless of how you feel about Dr. Wendy, regardless about how you feel about Giselle, I think for me, this is good for the franchise. Okay. Now, let's move on to some other news, okay? Because it looks like Quad's got a man at home, okay? Or at least on the television screen, okay? Because here she is pictured with what appears to be our date to the Met Gala. Now, just wanted to give you guys an update. Photos are courtesy of Eric Robinson. Make sure you guys are following him on Instagram and getting your photos done, especially if he's on tour and in your city or if you are down in the Atlanta. All right, and this comes to us from our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. Here he is pictured. Will we see this man on the show? I mean, Miss Quad, she got it. She got it. Dr. Heavenly says love is a beautiful thing. Okay. Claudia Jordan says upgrade. Uh-oh, let me upgrade. Upgrade. Is this an upgrade from Dr. G for Quad? I mean, listen, a woman's got to move on. And a woman's also got to get that paycheck. So, I mean, to me, I hope that this is like we get to see this play out on the show this season. I think that we have all been wanting to see Quad find love for some time now. So this would be a nice little change of pace because the ladies have always been, I don't know, they've kind of made it this thing of like, will Quad be running around, taking other people's men, or, Quad being the single lady in the group? How does she fit into the group? Is she even married to medicine? You know what I'm saying? And some people, felt like those are valid questions at this point in time. And I wonder what this guy does. Is he in the medical field? Or is he, does he own some other business? I'm sure he's some type of entrepreneur of some sort. So I'm sure we'll see this play out on the new season of Married to Medicine. So it looks like change is in the air for quite a few of our shows that we have coming back, hopefully in the fall. I would love to see Married to Medicine come back sooner rather than later with at least an October or a November premiere, because I feel like the show is just so hot right now. And there are other photos of, the ladies from Married to Medicine floating around. There's photos of Anila, and, you have Dr. Simone. You have photos of Sweet Tea, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Contessa, as well as Dr. Jackie and Phaedra, and Dwight was in attendance. So we know the Met Gala will be at least a big focal point, I would say somewhere around the middle of the season. Okay. So I think I'm excited about what we have going on these shows, especially Potomac. That change of pace is going to be much needed, I think, for this show. If they can figure out and master the fun shade and elements of how the show kind of first started, I think that mixed in with the new ladies and getting to know some fresh faces, I think in breaking up some of those old beefs, we may be able to start fresh with Potomac. But we'll just have to wait and see how things play out. Okay. So that's the tea that we got for you guys. All right, now make sure you guys chime down in the comment section down below and let us know what you think about these stories and any other stories that we have done over this weekend. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you're following us, or if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, make sure you hit that follow button so you can know when we premiere new episodes. Also, be sure to tap down in the link down in the description. We have our membership portal. I will be getting a brand new link for the membership portal so that everything will reside in one space versus having to click into each of the two different links, because there's a yearly link and then there's a monthly link. And I know that people have questions about logging back in. So I will have a link for you very shortly that will encompass everything for getting into the membership portal. Okay. So with that being said, I'm working on that. But if you guys have any comments or questions, just drop them in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on Potomac and hopefully some type of new direction, and whether or not you think these new girls should actually quit Real Housewives of Atlanta or not. Okay. Because to even joke about it is kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but it could be all in fun. Who knows? We'll see. So with that being said, make sure you guys, like I said, like, share, follow, comment, and I'll catch you in the next video.